With the combination of his talent and intriguing aura, it's hard not to be a little fascinated by the Force. Sorry, we couldn't resist. That is Adam Driver. Tall, charming, handsome, what's there not to like? With his successes on the big and small screens in recent years, he's fast becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars.
I may be like my father, but I am not like my mother.
You are! And you're like my father. You're also like my mother. You're all the bad things about all of these people.
But why Hollywood dubbed him as a weirdo and media as ugly hot? And did it make him uncomfortable? Why doesn't he like being famous? And why is he so adamant about not watching his projects? Adam Driver has been in New York since his early 20s, and part of his appeal as an actor has to do with his background. Growing up, his interest in acting came down to joining the school theater, and mostly because he hung out with drama nerds and it just looked fun. Driver's love of cinema also translated into his desire to become an actor, but his career started much later. After a failed audition for Juilliard, Driver decided college wasn't for him and applied nowhere else. He also tried following the footsteps of all actors who talked about moving to LA with a few dollars, finding work, and making all the dreams come true. Sadly, for the future Hollywood star, things didn't go as planned. His car broke down in Texas, and by the time he got to Santa Monica, not even LA, he was out of money and had to go back home after 2 days. It was embarrassing. I had said goodbye to friends and family like, I'm out of this whole town. 4 days later, he was moving back in. Can you believe a 17-year-old Driver had to pay $200 per month to live under his mom and stepdad's roof? And he wasn't even allowed to use the front entrance. To sustain himself, the Star Wars actor worked 3 jobs: mowing lawns, selling vacuums, telemarketing, apart from working at McDonald's. It wasn't until 9/11 that he knew what he had to do. Shortly after the attack, with a sense of patriotism and his stepfather's pestering, the 18-year-old enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps. To everyone's surprise, he loved it. And the more he talks about it, the more he makes it sound like a combat version of Buddhism. There's something about having all of your identity and possessions stripped away. It becomes evident when you get your freedom back that there's stuff you want to do. Unfortunately for his military career, and fortunately for us, Driver got into a mountain bike accident. After almost 3 years of service as Lance Corporal, he was given an honorable discharge on medical grounds. It must have been devastating for Adam. But the experience of having been in the military also made rehabilitation easier. Nothing, he believed at the time, could be as hard again. And throughout the 2000s, the actor was thriving in the theater world. At one point, he had significant roles in 2 plays at the same time.
Wouldn't you say that's her private property?
You're absolutely right. But you know something? Living with another human being night and day has made me predatory and suspicious.
Working his ass off, Driver found himself making out with 4 people a day. He'd first kissed 2 ladies during rehearsals for one play. Later that day, he'd kiss his male co-star while practicing for another play. According to Driver, he went through a lot of mouthwash and toothpaste before he got home to his girlfriend and now wife, Joanne Tucker. The couple met when they were both students. Isn't that sweet? Yes, when he reapplied to Juilliard, he got in. He also felt it was different. At 17, I just wanted to be liked and to be funny and accepted. Later, I had a bit more life experience. The future dark emo space prince packed his bags and moved to New York, where he was forced to live in the closet of his stepmother's uncle. Sound a bit familiar, huh? Harry Potter fans, knock knock, you there? Ironically, he ended up working alongside Daniel Radcliffe on the film What If? Going from the Marines to the prestigious acting school isn't easy, it turns out. Driver's attitude was seen as exceedingly aggressive by his new classmates. By the actor's admission, his intensity made a lot of people cry. So maybe there is some merit to him being intense and slightly weird. Reportedly, Driver initially passed on the part because he thought TV was evil. To be fair, there's a reasonable argument on both sides of that statement. Could it be that this kind of thinking attributed to him earning the title of a weirdo? Perhaps it's all about the roles he's into. Or maybe it's because he refuses to see himself as a sex symbol, even though his appearance in girls has garnered a following who view him nothing short of. According to the man himself, when he read the script that said handsome carpenter, he thought someone else would surely get the part.
Jessa, come back here!
It was a strange thing, he says, to sign up for what felt like a relatively obscure show. Something that felt like it was made in the basement of a friend's house, and watch it rise while he and his friends rose with it. On the other hand, The Force Awakens became the fastest film to take $1 billion at the global box office, But does he actually appreciate the attention? Not really. Driver insists that it's not why he became an actor, saying that there are great things about being wealthy and famous. It frees you up to do other things. But part of his job, quote, is being anonymous. The actor star thinks it's more important to observe than to be observed. Ever since Adam Driver reached international attention, be it due to the series or the movie hits he starred in, the world seems to have struggled with what to do with him. Throughout his continuing rise, there's one thing that just doesn't sit right: media calling him ugly. Sure, they don't stop short of ugly. They add that he's hot too. The New York Times calls him ugly handsome. A list on IMDb named him a sexy ugly celebrity. Truth be told, he is slightly complicit in this. He's called himself unconventional leading man. But that doesn't make it okay. It can't be nice to hear or read, even if he has welcomed the joke. His looks aren't that far from his views, though. The actor strives to be a small part of the machine, as it's where he's always felt comfortable. It's not about me, he says. The actor elaborated that he doesn't like watching his projects because he can't change anything, and it kills him.
Right, well, because I'm used to doing plays. I came from theater background, so it never really equated to me that why would I want to watch that?
Driver once even walked out of the interview when the journalist decided to air a clip of him singing in Marriage Story.
And make me aware of being alive, being alive.
The silent star feels watching himself perform is painful. But when it comes to Star Wars, Driver will suck it up and watch the trilogy. That's because the storytelling is so visual, and he had no idea what's going on when they were filming. No matter how strange his views on things might be, many directors appreciate the actor for all his sincerity and straightforwardness. Particularly Noah Baumbach. They've worked together for 10 years, with Driver never turning down a challenge. Even though he put everything the audience needed to see in the movie, people keep asking him to open up and elaborate on the emotional role. The actor is unwavering. "What would I add that would make it better?" Driver said. Nothing. Has being a little closed off caused him trouble? We'd be lying if we said that we don't want to know as much as we can about the movies that make us feel all the feelings. At the same time, we respect his process. Could the fact that he's not willing to talk about how he approached the role, how he tapped into his emotions, contribute to Hollywood making him out to be a weirdo as well? Or is it because he's sort of a method actor? Adam doesn't consider himself to be such, but reportedly, he would stay in character throughout the shoot of The Force Awakens. He would even keep his helmet on when the cameras weren't rolling. No word on whether he would ever forget that he couldn't actually use the Force, though. Is it because he feels uncomfortable around fans? Well, that's not entirely his fault. They tend to ask Driver for photos at some very inappropriate times, including the seconds after a major car crash. He ended up taking an extremely awkward photo with a coffee and a $100 bill in his hand as the paramedics rushed by him in the background. Adam also noted that he gets approached by many kids every day, and he enjoys interacting with them very much. They're always like, "Good morning, Kylo Ren," Driver said. I'm like, "Morning, Kylo needs his coffee if you just give me a second." No, that can't be it. So maybe it's just what Hollywood and the media do with people who are different. Certainly not the first time a great actor who enjoys working with all kinds of films has come under fire. Someone who doesn't shy away from leaving the interview if he feels disrespected, who respects fans no matter how awkward the moments they come out to him might be. Someone who doesn't date around and doesn't have broad romantic escapades, who can pick himself up from whatever and make a life for himself and his family, and at the same time grace us with his presence on screen and stage. Now, what do you think? Drop your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. As always, we're very eager to see your opinion in the comments section below. And do tell us which topic we should cover next. Behind-the-scenes dramas of your favorite shows? Why did this seemingly perfect couple break up? How come this Hollywood hottie is still alone? Who holds the title of the most fan-friendly celebrity? Make your voice heard, and we at Rumour Juice will make sure that you never get bored. Subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to tell your friends how cool we are.